I teach English in the IB program, and I also teach Norwegian, both at the MYP and the General Studies.
Why would you recommend the IB program, and what are the benefits for students?
I would recommend the IB program to perhaps particularly students with a more diverse international background, since it's a lot of it is planned around English, and it will often allow students who don't speak Norwegian as well to get an education as well. Also, the IB is currently valued quite highly at higher education around the world. So with an IB diploma, you can often get perhaps some extra positive attention.
How would you describe the learning environment in MYP and DP?
Fairly good. Usually the classes are composed of intelligent young people who desire to learn, and it is allowed to be a bit of a nerd. You are allowed to actually be interested in the different subjects, and that's fine. And that's not necessarily the case in high school.
How would you describe the diversity in the Blinton IB program, and how does this benefit students?
I think that this reflects the fact that the world is changing. There is indeed a global village to a certain extent, and we can't necessarily think in terms of nationality anymore. People come from a lot more diverse backgrounds, both culturally and ethnically, and in the IB, that is very often celebrated. I've never ever seen that as a weakness in any other classes that I've taught. It's usually always to the huge benefit of the students.
How rigorous would you say the IB and MYP program content and pace is?
It is very rigorous. That needs to be emphasized. The IB is never going to be easy. The MYP perhaps makes for a good transition to the IB program, but the diploma program in itself is quite rigorous, and it does require a certain degree of self-motivation. However, and I need to emphasize this as well, this is also a reward on the other end of the spectrum, that the rigors that you face will benefit you later.
And what is the most interesting unit or topic that you've taught in school? For example, a favorite book?
With you guys, we worked on the social justice that has been a huge issue in the US just last year, and that felt very meaningful and impactful to me, trying to come together and try to make sense out of what is happening. Because it obviously affected and projected itself on large parts of the world. So that felt meaningful and interesting to me as a unit. Favorite book? I have perhaps a particularly fond place in my heart for Watchmen, which is a graphic novel. Perhaps not the most academic text you can imagine, but most students are surprised to find out how deep it actually is.
Thank you so much for your time.